Good afternoon, guys. I'm gonna show you a small setting today which confused me for a little bit. As you may know, I prefer to use Orca mainly because it has the most easiest functions, but sometimes I want to upload 3MF files into the Makersworld community, and it's been irritating me when I do that I cannot really configure the Purge tower properly. If you look at this is Orca Slicer that you can see on the screen now. And under multi-material here, you can set directly the prime volume, which means the vertical volume that should be instigated based on the width of the tower. So in this case, it is 55 millimeters wide, 5.5 centimeters wide, and the tower has a volume of 300 square millimeter. And that directly translates into how much filament you want to purge to the tower. So I always hate all the big poops. So what I usually do is I go in here and I change, let's say, the settings here for the purge. I just change that to let's 170, for instance. I do not change the multiplier. I go in and I directly just edit the settings. And this is PETG is red and PLA is the other one. I just keep it at the same. And OK, but it's not enough to purge out all the filament you need to purge. And I like to put that to the tower instead. So the second it's done, it just goes from the tower with a clean nozzle to the printing of the object. And to do that, in Orca Slicer, you go into multi-material and you increase the size of the prime volume equivalent to what you would have had in your purge volume, in your flushing volume. So in this case, it's 170 plus 300, that's 470 total flush. If you can think of it like that. And that gives me brilliant prints every single time. But when you do that in Orca Slicer, you get a certain amount of filament that is being purged to the tower. So the tower gain a certain size, like this. So when you slice it, the tower get a width and a height. And the total volume of that, each of those layers equivalent 470. No, it's equivalent 300 square millimeters of filament being purged at each layer, either that be black or white, or red in this case. And it irritated me that I couldn't really do this same thing in Bambu Studio. So I'm going to bring over Bambu Studio here. So here is Studio. Same thing. And I'm just gonna go default on everything here like it was. And when I slice this, it will look very much different. So you can see that the purge tower is really small, and I set the flushing volumes is exactly the same, but this is not going to be enough because it's between PETG and PLA both ways. So I was trying to find out how can I make the same setup in Bambu Studio as you have in Orca Slicer, where you can actually adjust the volume or the height of the purge tower. Now I really hate this layout. I know it's supposed to be better with regards to stability, but I never had a problem with that. So first thing, skip points and don't use rib wall, which is that new setting you have. And then leave the width of the tower. That is what we're going to use. If I slice it now, you will see something similar like this. It's similar to the other one, but it's perfectly square. Give it some time to... So it looks like that. And for each layer, it would then just purge the red and the black for each layer. And that's way not enough. So how do you increase that to be equivalent of what you had for the other one in Bambu Studio? Okay, so I'll just realign this model because this will take a little bit of space, like that, like this. Now, what I found out is that you do have the Purge tower volume, and it's in a messed up location. But at the same time in Studio, it could actually be a really good location, because in Orcheslizer you save it in the profile of all your global settings. In Bambu Studio you save it to your filament profile. So you go into your filament settings, but you need to do it for both of them. And then you have this one here called filament prime volume. That is equivalent to the setting that is in Bambu Studio. So I changed it to 300. And that will be 300 square millimeter. And then save that filament profile. And I'll do the same with my black filament. Filament prime volume, set that to 300. Hot end change here. That is something you can disregard. It has to do with the H2C, where it changes the hot ends. So you can just totally disregard that, if you don't have one of those machines then. So I change that and then save that one and press OK. Now, when I reslice this model like this, you will see that you have got equivalent to what you had in Orcheslizer. Which means that you have moved your flushing to your Purge tower in Bambu Studio. Now, it would appear my plate was just upside down. Unfortunately, Bambu Studio handles the Purge tower a little bit differently than in Orcheslizer, so I'll just do like this. And I'll just reslice it. So everything is on the build plate. There. And now, since you saved, so the bottom part here is 300. The top part here is 300. Orcheslizer is a little bit different. It will make one line for each of these when it prints. It's like one layer black, one layer red for each layer. But the volume is actually the same. So if you look at the fill here, it is actually exactly the same. And it goes for the whole layer. So that is sort of a continuation of my video where I showed you how to flush to prime or / purge tower instead. Because the second it goes from the tower to the part, it has no dripping or anything like that because it's all purged away on the tower. And that is what I prefer. You may have a different preference, but I just wanted to show you that it is possible to change the volume of the Purge tower in Studio. It just takes a little bit of finding the right setting. So I hope you like these kind of videos. Please leave a like and help me reach 1,000 subscribers by pressing sub on my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.